everybody. We're going to make this today.
How are we going to make it, though?
We're going to use templates.
Yes, we just introduced templates, which is a new feature in Studio, which allows you to create parameterized designs.
Yeah, check it out. Go to studio.shapertools.com if you want to try them out. Or stay here, stick around for this the video to figure out how to make this.
Like, subscribe, and join us live sometimes. We do live Q&A, and we do giveaways at the end. We give away all kinds of fun stuff at the end of the show. So
Yep.
check us out every other Thursday at sessions.shapertools.com.
Enjoy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shaper Sessions. My name is Jake.
And I'm Audrey. It's so great to have you all here again. I was going to say see you, but you
It's
can't.
great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
Came
it's
all the
nice
way
to
up.
be here.
We got a great show for you today. We're super excited about the most recent studio release, and who better to help us go through it all than Audrey herself.
Happy to.
We have all kinds of fun things. We're focusing on templates today.
Yeah, because
What
that's the
are
new stuff.
templates?
So templates is a new, super exciting update to Studio, which are these collection of parametric shapes that you can place in your design. So maybe I can just show some of these off right now because it's easier than trying to explain it.
Let's jump in.
Yeah. So I've got Studio loaded up here. I put a little message in here just for funsies, but I will remove that so that we can have a nice clean slate to take a look at templates. So in Studio, when I come over here to the left side of Studio, I can see all these sort of creation options. So you can find art, draw, that's sort of a line tool, and then make shape. If I click on this, now I see a collection of what we've had for a long time, which is basic shapes, sort of building blocks. And then we also see what's new, what we're talking about today, which is templates. So there's 8 right now, and I'll place this barbell template just to explain a little bit. So this barbell that I just placed, you can see it's got some parameters on the right side, so I can edit stuff about it. If I didn't, just a fun fact, the default sizes here actually match the barbell that we sell on our accessories product page. So
That's what we'll give away at the end. A pack of barbells.
oh yeah, that's a great idea.
Perfect.
Cool. All right. And so all you have to do is place this, and then you'll be able to cut it, whoever wins that. But just to demonstrate, you can adjust things like the width. This is, not that exciting, but the height. And I'm doing this right now in the panel on the right. But you can also do it to the barbell directly in your design. So parametric shapes, and the barbell is just one of the more straightforward ones, but there's also some super useful ones especially for woodworkers out there, like this corner rounding template. We've sort of heard this request from a lot of people, like, hey, I just want to put a radius.
So often.
Yeah.
And this has made it so incredibly easy because it gives you a custom anchor point, which is right at the corner of your piece. And you can you're not cutting it. I don't know. It's just so clear. I love it.
Yeah. We've got some fun videos about templates on YouTube with cool demos of this getting cut out.
Yeah. But you can also adjust the angle if you're not working on a square tabletop, but you're working on a, I don't know, weird like 60-degree island cut or something. Boom.
Yeah, there you go. No math on your part required. It's all happening behind the scenes, but it's also really easy to bring over to Origin.
Yeah. This kind of explains it, so I don't feel like I need to ask this, but the word parametric, for those who don't know, editable?
Yeah,
basically?
Parametric is like editable. Okay. I should do this demo, which is let's go back to that barbell so that I can explain this. So I have this barbell. I'll make a copy here, and the copy I'm going to sort of remove the parametric ability of it by running it through Shapeshifter.
Mm.
And now it's
fully baked.
It's baked. It's a basic shape. And so we can see the difference if I scale this basic shape now. It gets all stretched out. It's not responding in a smart way. It's not trying to keep anything at the parameters that I've set. Whereas if I scale this original barbell that is parametric, it will choose what to scale with reference to what you're asking for. So it's trying to keep as much of your desired parameters accurate as possible while you're making other edits.
A barbell is far better than a Q-tip.
Yes, yeah. This would not be quite as pretty as a stabilizing shape, I think.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you for that. That's a perfect demonstration. Couple other ones that, just to rattle off a few, we're going to dive deeper into the more complicated ones, but we have keyhole.
Yeah.
Which is just awesome. Of course, we sell a keyhole bit, but you can adjust this keyhole to whatever bit that you have for whatever depth, whatever size. You can definitely get creative with how to use this one.
Right, and it's a little hard to tell, but behind the scenes, what's important about this keyhole shape is that it's actually like two lines that go back on each other so that you can enter and exit at the same place. And that's typically pretty difficult to do or to force Origin to do with the tools that it has right now. So keyhole's a pretty handy one. Also love the radial holes pattern.
Okay, so this is huge. You might have seen the video that came out where Sam made a clock out of this, but there's all kinds of stuff that you can use.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, on the forum recently, actually, Bo shared something that he made with the radial holes template where he took the radial holes template and then added also these concentric circles like this. Basically, I'm hitting the C key to add a circle, by the way.
Nice.
That's why you don't see me clicking anywhere. So basically like this, and then using a shapeshifter to make curved slots. Ooh, I was just dragging the circles, so I think I made the outer one a little too big, but you could also math it. But
oh, I see where you're going.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Curved slots.
Nice. Very cool.
Or I think he said curved dominoes. So yeah, the radial holes template is super handy. And again, it's parametric, so you set the size of the hole diameter you want, and then the hole center's diameter is basically the distance from this hole center to the opposite hole center. So like the circle that it takes up, and then how many holes do you want in that. So we've also seen uses for this in speaker cabinets, for example, because the speakers have the fasteners in that radial pattern usually.
You also get artistic with it and start doing like a speaker screen that has a series of holes.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure. That would be fun.
Now, linear hole pattern.
Yes.
I like this little fun fact. Let's see if it pops. Okay. So the default size and separation is actually that of the MFT table, right?
Yes, exactly.
Just as a little Easter egg.
Yeah. So if probably you'd want to make an MFT table with more than just 8 holes.
Okay.
But that's why it's parametric, and you can change that. And once you've got the grid that you're happy with, go to town. Make yourself an extra long custom benchtop.
Super cool.
Yeah.
All right. Next one we got is, pull that screen up for me. I think it's dog bones. I want to talk about dog bones because I'm really excited about them.
Yeah.
I'm excited about all of them, but
I'm going to get rid of this other one.
What is a dog bone? Dog bone is a common term in more often in CNC type flat cut furniture. It's a way to make corner relief so you can put you can basically do a Morrison tenon right off the CNC bed. Works great for sheet goods, but here in hardwood land, we're going to make a real Morrison tenon. But for this kind of stuff, it's really great. And I wanted to show you the difference between, there's 3 different options that you've made.
Yes.
For how the holes kind of hide or don't hide within it. So you have your standard, which is the holes on the corner is equidistant, and that kind of comes.
Oh yeah, and Jake made this really great. Just
Let's see over here. All right, so that's
Jake
that first one.
Template. I don't know. That's also a template.
For 1.5 inches. The downside to this is you can see that little corner relief on every corner. Maybe you can. So another option is to do horizontal, which kind of tucks them away and hides them behind whatever it is that you're mortising in. And same thing for the opposite direction, hides them behind the piece. So I just like the thoughtfulness they all put into this in designing the tool. Think, okay, you don't want just one dog bone. It really is, you want to be able to make it classy too.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe this is a good time to mention also, if you have questions about these templates right now, we'll answer them at the end of the show.
Yep.
So as you're seeing this, if anything comes up and doesn't make sense, please ask those questions. We'll take a look and demo any answers that we can.
That's true. We got excited and got like right into it, but this is a live show, so ask all those questions. What's next?
Well, I think we can start talking about our project for today.
Oh, yes. Okay. You've probably seen us cut this once or twice in the past. It is a Compass Rose Inlay. Now, the truth behind making a Compass Rose Inlay is it's kind of tricky to make.
Right.
You have to think about a bunch of different radiuses all coming together. It's an inlay with multiple parts, so a lot of things are compounding. Well, it was so popular and so often requested that you've included a compass tool.
Yes. And this is maybe one of the more complicated templates that we've added to Studio, and that's okay. I think the templates can be both sort of more utilitarian, like fast things, and they can also be more complicated things, as long as the point is, making your CAD time smaller and more intuitive and easier. So here we've got our template for a compass star inlay. And you can see we can make a really wacky one and add like 24 points.
Oh, nice.
Probably don't want to do that. I think we'll maybe start with a more sort of traditional 4-pointed compass today for our project.
Yeah, let's start there.
But also, as you play, if you all have Studio, if you don't, I think you should, but if you're playing around with this, you can just visually scale it to see how you feel about the size. And if you pull on these edge handles, a fun trick here is that it'll just scale the inside there for you, which is just a nice little way to get it to be the size you want. And then here, if you look back at the panel, we've got tip radius, which just means the radius sort of at each star tip.
Which is super important because that's going to dictate what bit we're using.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So I could try to trip this up and put a ridiculous number in here. But this is just to show you how much effort has gone into these templates that they're also built to try to, save you when they can and not break and sort of solve for what you're asking for. So here it's just letting me know, hey, like there's a maximum and this is what it is. But probably in this case, since we're trying to do something that looks nice, we'll use a small bit, maybe an 1/8 inch bit. So the radius would be a 1/16. Yeah.
Perfect.
Should we get to like actually making this the size that we want it to be that we're going to cut out?
Let's do it. Our overall size is going to be what? Like something 8-inch range, 9-inch range?
Yeah, maybe 9 inches. So I'll stick that in here, 9 inches. And then we've made it maybe, I think, a little too skinny in the middle now. So if I pull on it, I'll see how I feel about things here. That's pretty good. I think I'll round up to 3 because I like whole numbers. How does that look to you?
That's perfect.
Yeah, we'll zoom in. Okay, and then the reason why we are showing this on sessions, especially the Compass stars, is because it's one of the more complicated templates. And so there are a few steps after this, like getting it to the way we look. We like the look of it. There's a few more steps, so we're excited to just play that out, and you guys can watch us build the cut file, and hopefully that'll
now we have to make
be
this thing
helpful.
for real.
Yeah, yes. Because if let's say I was just going to hand this to Jake right now to cut out, and he would load it up on Origin. And you can see if he tries to cut all these different parts, it's going to start to cut into the other piece. So we've got to sort of separate these different star tips and these halves. And traditionally for a Compass star, you would do different halves of the star tip is going to be a different material.
Yes, so I have some sapele for our dark and some white oak for our light. I think that's going to look nice.
Cool. So I'm someone who likes to take notes and leave notes for myself. So I'm just gonna to get this all figured out in the canvas. I'll write dark, and I'll lay out my dark pieces here later, and then I will. Actually, I like using a single line font for my for my notes because it feels cleaner for some reason. Okay, and then I'll duplicate this, which, by the way, is an easy tip for, say you want to make multiple pieces of text that are the same font now that you've chosen the font you like. Instead of placing a new piece of text and going and choosing the font again, you can just duplicate it. That's a little easier.
Also, this whole concept of like creating notes inside your studio template is something we're starting to do more and more, and it just feels good. It feels very organized. At the end, you can turn everything to a reference path, which we will touch on, and it's only visible in Studio, so it's just there to help you when you're designing, not necessarily when you're cutting. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take half of these and make them the dark side, and half of them and make them the light side. Do you have a preference for which side is which?
I don't, but I should have a preference.
You maybe should. I mean, I think it's maybe okay because you could flip the pieces and they should be the same. But if you have a side of the wood that you like better.
Top left dark.
Okay.
And the right light.
All right. So here's how we're going to do it in Studio. We've got this sort of parametric shape, and it's just one thing, and we want a piece of it. So I'm going to use Shapeshifter to basically extract one piece of this star. So I've entered Shapeshifter, and I'm clicking on the one piece I want. And this is very important. I'm going to toggle on Keep Existing Shapes. And what that does is it's going to make this shape without deleting what I brought into Shapeshifter. Sometimes you want that, and sometimes you don't want that. So toggle on Keep Existing Shapes so that we're just sort of making a copy. And now I can pull this over. And you said this was dark.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yep.
So that's our dark side. And then we'll do the same for the light. I'll go into Shapeshifter, grab this, make shape. Aha!
Well, there you go.
I forgot to toggle. That's what undo is for. All right, let's do it again. Perfect. I demoed it. Okay, make shape, and then bring it over. So now we've got dark and light, but actually we'll want 4 times each piece, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm looking over at your setup over here, and it looks like the grain is sideways.
Yeah, we're going grain left to right, and then I kind of had to work with what we had as far as material sizes. So can we nest these nicely so they fit on what I have?
Sure. What size material do you have?
For the light, I have, let's say 9 1/4 by 2 3/4 to work with. So you kind of give yourself a bounding box.
So I'm going to make just a basic rectangle shape in Studio, just to reference while I'm building, or while I'm copying these shapes around and trying to nest them. So Jake said it was 9 1/4 and 2 3/4. So we've got our shape, and already I can see that this is for the light. I mean, it's the same, but I can see it's not going to fit in here. So I'm going to make this a reference path right now. And that way I can move this around without worrying about that other path. And I'm going to rotate this so that it is in line with the grain. And then we'll just want to make copies and rotate them and move them around this rectangle so that they fit nicely in here for Jake. So I'll duplicate and rotate. So we've got these two, and then I can actually just hold down the shift key and click on the other one to add to my selection. So to multi-select both of these, and then duplicate that multi-selection. And there we go. We've got 4 shapes, and we can go into plan mode, and we can set them to outside cut type.
This is huge because we want to make sure that I can actually cut it with an 1/8 inch bit.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to cut on the outside because the inside is the correct size. And then, yeah, we've got our bit diameter set to an 1/8 inch. And I mean, if we want to take a look at it in review mode, if we give it a depth, then it'll look a little bit nicer and we can see what it looks like. But that looks pretty good. Is it okay if there's no material left in between?
I prefer that.
Okay.
It feels like we're doing the most with what we got.
Cool. So now we've got our light pieces.
Great.
And I could actually send this to you, but if I send it to you right now, you're going to get all of this that we're seeing in plan mode, right?
Yeah, let's pare that down.
Yeah. So I'm going to take everything I don't want Jake to get on origin. I'm going to grab it all, and I'm going to set it to reference. And then I think that's it. I could turn on this box for you so that you can see it on origin and line it up.
Sure, we can make it a guide.
All right. I've made it editable now, and in plan mode, I'll turn it into a guide.
That way it's not cuttable. I am set up on BenchPilot over here. We're going to let BenchPilot do the fine cutting here. But I am going to manually place what Audrey has made. Sweet. All right, on to our dark section. We're working with 7 inches wide by, let's say, 4.
All right, I've made another rectangle in Studio. Oh, fun tip, you can make a rectangle with a key press. You just hit the R key. That's a fun one.
See, I'm learning these hotkeys. It makes sense. R for rectangle, C for circle.
Yeah, C for circle, E for ellipse. Rounded rectangle is Shift R.
Oh, that one lost me.
And polygon is Shift P. There you go.
What's star?
Oh, the templates don't have shortcuts yet. So, but the basic shapes is these building blocks they do. So those ones you can use. You can also find them in the help menu over here.
Oh, great! I love that.
All right, so let's make this. I'm sorry, I forgot what size you said it was.
I did too. 7 by 4.
7 by 4. All right. Cool. And I'm going to hit this zoom to selection so that I can see where I'm at. And we're going to want to move this dark star tip around. So I'll make that editable, and I can rotate it. Same as last time. I'll duplicate it, rotate that copy, and I'm kind of using the snaps because right now Studio is snapping to basically 45-degree increments, I think. And then I'll hold down my shift key and I'll select this other star tip. Now I have these two selected and I can copy them again and bring them down. And I'm just sort of visually moving them around. And I can also use my arrow keys to nudge them if I think I want a little bit more space. Now let's see what that looks like in plan mode, just to make sure we're not gonna cut into things. I will select just the star tips and set them to outside.
Perfect.
And it looks good. Looks like we're making good use of our material.
Yeah, you're eyeballing this perfectly.
Thanks. Cool. And then we'll set this outer one to a guide. All right. Almost done, actually. I just probably need to turn off these other ones over here. I'm using the term turn off, but really we're selecting them and we're using this set as reference feature. So the main thing with the set as reference is that it does not get sent to origin, and we make that very clear by also not having it appear in plan mode. And as you're designing, they're actually a little bit harder to select. So if I also were to like hold the shift key to try to make a lasso selection, it won't grab the reference paths unless it's the only thing.
Yeah, you have to be very intentional about it.
Yeah.
That's great. It's kind of like having a hidden layer.
Yeah, a little
know?
bit like that.
Yeah. I like it. Okay, so that's sent over to me.
Mm-hmm.
Back into import. And I love it. I'm grabbing the same file, but it's got different things in it. And visual placement is fine for me here.
Yeah. And this is also one of the benefits of being a licensed studio user, because you can just grab the same file from origin. But if you don't have a license,
count as an extra export.
you gotta export it every time to sort of make it. So.
All right, that's looking great. My material is forgetting. It's an odd size. I think it's 0.16. Typically, when I'm doing inlays with Origin, I'm going for 1/8 of an inch. But
Did you just have this laying around?
0.18. No, it's just like it felt good, and it was like, do I want to do 6 more passes on the drum sander, or take a slightly thicker inlay? And it doesn't matter because we're using Origin.
Right.
We're gonna go down to 0.18, so just a little deeper than everything.
Cool.
Let's go ahead and click in. Make sure that Origin knows I have an 1/8 inch bit and Z-Touch. Bingo. All right. It's going to do this in 2 passes, 2 depth passes. I feel like that's unnecessary. Let's do it in 1 depth pass. But why not give it a roughing pass, because we want these to be nice and nice and perfect. And that all looks good to me.
Great.
One thing I do want to add is a bit of a negative offset. So and this comes from just having cut these before. Anytime you're cutting a inlay that has a bunch of parts coming together into a pocket, you have so many competing surfaces that if you cut everything to 0, sometimes it doesn't fit, even if you're taking a negative offset off the pocket. So what I've found is that taking a very small negative offset off of each of the components kind of gives everything a little bit of breathing room to actually come together. Especially on these star inlays, everything likes to fit until that last one. So it's a compounding, not error, but compounding tolerance.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how it feels when we're putting it together. I was looking back because I was looking for the marquetry we usually have up here, but it's I don't see it.
When in doubt, I always somebody used it as a demo somewhere else.
But I imagine that would be also a moment where you would want those negative offsets.
Totally. If it's just one thing, like, for example, a circle being inlaid into a piece of wood, cut the circle to 0, true to size.
Right.
negative offset on the pocket, because that way you can dial that in. Something really small, -0.002 of an inch. All right. Preview, cutting them all.
Yeah.
Double check my speed. Let's set it to 40. And let's go.
Cool. Oh, I love that Bench Pilot tells you how much time it thinks it's going to take.
Yeah. And I'll add this.
Oh, nice.
Just so when you're on the other side of the shop, you can actually see it.
Yeah, when you're going over to pour yourself a cup of coffee, just glance back.
Yeah.
Oh, like, actually, I have more time. I'll
put sugar in it.
Yeah, I'll go get some milk from the fridge.
So these parts are big enough, and I've used enough double-sided tape underneath to where I'm not too worried about them popping loose. But as inlay parts get smaller and smaller, that is something that you have to consider.
Right.
Just the sheer force of origin or a bit moving through the material could knock them loose. So always make a little extra material, and if you are seeing that happen time and time again, slow your speed down. Slow your feed speed down, and it will be far less likely to knock the piece loose.
Right. Would you want to also change the spindle speed for that, or just the feed?
If you're running it really low, yeah, definitely up your spindle speed. With Bench Pilot, given that we're moving so fast these days, I keep that spindle at around a 5.
Okay.
For most bits, 8mm, quarter, 1/8 inch. Yeah.
And so, just for anyone who's watching who has not been with us on this journey over the last few months, Bench Pilot is a fairly new product for us, right?
It is.
Yeah. Before, you would have been there standing with Origin and moving it around, which you can still do.
Back in my day, I used to have to push Origin around like by hand. And you know what? We're still going to do some hand cutting today, because the beauty of Bench Pilot is you can click it in and click it out, and it's still your same Origin, just with the ability now to do its own work.
Right, because Bench Pilot is basically just this like gantry around Origin, just this extra accessory, so that if you own an Origin, you can just purchase Bench Pilot. It'll work with the Origin you already have.
Yeah, it works. You can see right now we're set up on Workstation, which is kind of our go-to joinery station. It also works without Workstation. So if you were to remove Workstation, it doubles the cuttable area of Bench Pilot and allows you a fully pass-through system.
Oh, nice.
So you could cut a sign that is as long as you would like.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I said nice, but I knew that. I was in the video. I was here to do the video for we were demoing the sort of guitar body, and that's one where usually the guitars are long enough that you wouldn't be able to set them up sideways with Workstation. So using Bench Pilot with a custom tape field is the better way to do that for the guitar body.
No, I found that Bench Pilot is a lot more patient than I am, and it'll take its time to do things the right way, including pockets. So when it does a pocket, it very meticulously cuts a beautiful pocket. So when we go to put this into an actual pocket, I'm going to do it by hand because it's a live show and I'm trying to get things moving along. But that is not because it can't cut pockets. It's because I'm choosing to cut it by hand, and I like to cut pockets.
Yeah, I think maybe you miss the in-person work with the more intimate Origin work that you used to do more of.
Well, that, and I'm going to use the 16mm bit. So.
Oh, okay,
Any
I see. Oh, yes, you're going to pull out that.
All right, rounding it out with the last cut here.
Nice.
I probably didn't need to do a roughing and finishing pass on this.
Because the material's pretty thin.
It's pretty thin. And
But see, that's the beauty of Bench Pilot is like, I know it's a live show. It's maybe a little bit long right now for us to be watching this. But if we were at home, you would want to do it. You would want to say, take your time because it's only 5 minutes for me and you're going to be running it anyways. Ooh.
Nice. So, go ahead and pop this off.
Forget where the pry bar is. Oh, you've got it already.
I can't recommend this enough, especially for inlay parts. The flexible scraper is the go-to tool for getting these parts up because they're so, especially if they're thin, they're very delicate.
Yeah. Yeah, and is it the scraper's got kind of a slimmer taper there on the end?
Let me tell you, that is razor sharp. That is sharpened to our specifications to really sneak under your parts. If you go to the store and just buy a $2 flexible putty knife, it's going to be blunt on the end. It's going to mar your wood edge, and at that point, I can't help you.
Yeah, I've got one of those, but it's for drywall.
Yeah, exactly. All right, prime this up.
Awesome.
And I can already tell that my white oak was slightly thicker
than
my sapele, and it didn't cut through it all the way. It left what we call an onion skin. So I could pop those out, but I already cut a few just in case.
Oh, nice.
So pretend like that didn't happen.
Oh, yes.
But I should have gone 0.01 deeper.
Wow, you cut those so fast.
Look at that.
Yeah, I was a little surprised you pulled them off of workstation because I was thinking you were just going to run it again. You just run that again. But I guess it is nice if we can get on with the show.
Yeah, I want to cut this pocket. I want to see how these things fit.
And what are you going to be cutting the pocket out of?
I'm just going to use some 3/4 inch birch ply. Nice contrast, really, is what we were going for.
Right. Oh, yeah, but typically, or I guess one of the common use cases for the Compass Star inlay is to actually put it into a floor.
Exactly.
Which is why it's such a popular project for Origin, because it's kind of the only CNC that can do floors.
Yeah. You're bringing a CNC to the job site and having that level of accuracy to cut something into a client's floor. That's really why I'm doing it by hand, just to illustrate that point.
Right. And then I guess if you were on a floor, you would probably end up using some tape because you want to be on the same level as the rest of the floor that you're on. But in this case, we do have the handy workstation, so we'll probably just use that.
Beautiful.
What did you just do? What was that?
Oh. My unclip, clip, unclip.
Oh.
Boom. I'm going to set these aside.
Yeah, I'll keep them safe for you.
And before we get into this, let's go ahead and take a breather and hop into our mid-show break.
That sounds good.
So, now it's a good time to bring up that poll question. Very relevant question today. We just released a bunch of these awesome templates, but we are very curious, what is a template that you would like to see in the future?
Yes. Yeah, let us know.
Audrey would really like to know.
I really want to know. Some people have already been sending us suggestions because we've also put this question directly in studio. So if you have more than you can fit in the poll response, come back to studio and let us know. But just as a reminder, we've got barbell, compass, corner round, dog bone rectangle, keyhole, linear holes, radial holes, and star. And so perhaps there is something else at the end of that list that you think needs to be added next. And we'd really love to know what's on the top of your list.
Yeah. Reminder, please answer that poll question and put your name in the running for our giveaways at the end of the show. What else we got? Oh, this is kind of huge. We are coming up on our biggest sale of the year. So
Hey, it's that time.
It is that time of year, starting Monday. So mark your calendars. It is our end of the year sale, and it's huge. It is seriously something to come back for. Even if you're an owner, we have cash discounts on accessories, of course, Origin, Bench Pilot. So if you, a friend or a family member, is just on that fence and they're waiting for that little help over the edge, now's the time to go check it out. It's going live Monday. Probably already received an email or something about it, but it's big.
Yeah. I mean, if you own an Origin and you're thinking about making a bunch of gifts for people for the holidays, I imagine there's probably it would do you good to get some new bits for all that work you're gonna do.
Yep. That new bits, maybe an extra set of hands in the shop, like a Bench Pilot, to help you make them.
Treat yourself.
Do yourself. And then we also have a shop tour for the day from Michael Williams. Thank you, Michael, for sending this over. We asked for it. We said dirty shops, small shops, big shops, doesn't matter. And he wanted to make it clear. He's like, you said dirty shops. Here's my dirty shop. It's not that dirty. Let's roll the tape.
So, welcome to my dirty shop. As was requested, dirty shops or unkempt shops. Safety eyeglass station and a mousetrap. This is a oversized 2-car garage. This is flat storage along here. Just do a walkthrough of the space. Some clamp storage. My big sander. Some extra stock cutoffs, all right? This is what has cut down the mouse population, is that I moved all of my major hand tools, some hardware into these cabinets. And then, but I'm getting older and forgetting stuff, or at least where I put stuff. So I put lists on each cabinet as to where stuff is. You can see here. So it's set up like this. All right, I have a stereo. All right, and I was concerned about leaving the stereo on when I left, so I put the indicator light up there to show if the stereo is still on. So that all is that. I put a master list of where things are in the cabinets that I add to. All right, it tells me what cabinet they're in and what shelf something is located. Some finishing supplies here. 2 assembly tables that have stuff on it right now. There is my Shaper Origin. Let's see, a workbench there. Lots of hand tools along here. I use this vacuum. It pops off the wall and I can take it over to the Shaper Origin and use that, and it works out really well. More storage. You can never have enough storage, like you can never have enough clamps. All right. Drill press, obviously. Spindle sander, oscillating spindle sander. Let's see. That's pretty obvious. I put in this mini split about 2 years ago. I absolutely love it. Here's some more tools that I pull off when I'm need to use them. And I'll put them over here. There's a planer, obviously a jointer back there, a big disc sander, my dust collection system, all right, my saw stop, I couldn't go full bore and get the nice cabinet saw. So I got the, it's not the contractor saw. Well, maybe it is the contractor saw, but it's not the portable saw. So got the extension on that. Love it, love it, love it. Because I work by myself in the shop, and my wife calls it the hot dog saw. Here's my first table saw. This little Bosch, really nice little table saw. Actually, doesn't get used anymore. There's my router setup. Big bandsaw, which is real nice. Lumber storage here. All right, nice window looking out there. This is all hardware storage, nuts and bolts and things like that, right? Some cutoffs there and more storage. So anyway, that's my dirty shop, right? Anyway, thanks so much. Really enjoy your product, the Shaper Origin, and I love the bi-monthly or bi-weekly, I'm not really sure the term anymore, of your videos each week, and dust collection up there as well, drop down power. Anyway, that is my shop so far. All right, thanks a lot.
Right on. Thank you so much, Michael, for sending us that. That is, honestly, any shop is a beautiful shop.
Yes, and I like the tips for keeping the mice away.
Yeah. The level of organization, having a master list, I think I need to take notes on that. Thanks so much. Reminder to anyone, if you send us a shop tour to sessions@shapertools.com and we use it on the show, we send you something nice. A little gift card to the store. So keep an eye out. Michael will send a gift card your way. And thank you. All right.
Nice. What's next?
I think we're ready to go.
Oh, we're cutting the pocket. Right. Yes.
We're cutting the pocket. Did I miss anything? No, I didn't. I got my substrate down here. We're just be cutting it into some 3/4 ply. Again, just for the high contrast. And I scanned in my board. I want to find the center of it. So I'm going to create a probe rectangle real quick. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. If you can't sneak back there. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, you're using those little holes for the bit. That's great. It's a great tip. I don't know that I would have thought of that.
Boom. There we go. Now I have a perfectly centered grid. All right. A couple of things we need to do on studio side of things, right?
Right. Yes. I've got to get you the pocket.
Yeah.
The shape for the pocket. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Folks have been asking for the highlighter for the cursor, and I'm trying to figure out how to turn it on. But
well, you keep doing that because I'm going to talk about the 16mm bit.
All right. Okay. Let's see if I can do it.
So back here in my spindle bandolier, I'm going to be pocketing, and whenever I can, I like to use the 16mm clearing bit.
Oh wow! Yeah.
A 3 flute, just wonderful experience. It leaves a really fantastic pocket bottom too. As I was saying earlier, totally can use Bench Pilot to pocket stuff. And in fact, if I might even just leave the 1/8" bit in there to pocket the entire thing, because again, I can do something else on the side while it's pocketing. But the general rule with Bench Pilot and pocketing is it does a 50% step over. So whatever the diameter of the bit is, 50% of that is how much it steps over as it pockets this shape. Bigger the bit, faster that goes. But I like to just do it by hand in this instance. There's definitely some getting used to though when you're pocketing with a large bit. It's just different. It feels different. How's it going?
It's I can see the plugin for this feature, and I'm having a hard time with this
How to activate it?
hotkey. It's fine. It's I is that what it looks? Yeah, there's a guys, I got it.
Nice.
All right, thank you. Sorry, I got it. We're good. You know what? Now I can show you how we're gonna make this pocket in studio. Look at this nice little spotlight on my cursor. Exciting. All right. We should also make sure we can turn it off sometimes.
That's super handy.
Yeah. Okay. So now that I know how to do this, we're gonna use the same design file just because it's easy, and we've been showing everyone how to do this with reference paths. So we'll just stick with that. And something we know already out the gate is we've already cut out these dark pieces. So I am going to select them and make them into reference paths so that they don't show up. And now, hilariously, there's actually nothing in this design file that will go over to origin. So let's make something that will go over to origin. So we want the pocket for this compass star. So I'm going to grab it, make it editable. And then again, like we did with all of these different tips, we're going to use Shapeshifter to extract the part of this template that we want to cut. So I'm going to go to Shapeshifter, and I'm just actually going to hit Select All. Now at this point, I could leave it with Keep Existing Shapes. Ooh, I'm going to use here we go. I could choose not to toggle this on because technically the pocket is the last thing we're doing, so we don't need the compass star anymore. But I'm the kind of person who likes to have copies of things in their design, so I will keep existing shape. That way, in case anything changes, or maybe if I want to send this file to everyone here on Shaper Hub, I can do it later. So now we've got our pocket, and we can take the template, keep it for later, but hide it so that it doesn't get in the way for Jake. And then just for good measure, we'll go into plan mode. We can set this to an inside cut because that's what he'll be doing after he does the pocket. And we can see, well, at first we can see what it's going to look like if he uses a 16 millimeter.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little left over.
Yeah, so you'll come back afterwards with an 1/8 inch bit, and when you do that, we can see that that'll cut beautifully the template that we set up for specifically for this bit size.
Nice.
Cool. So that should be ready for you. That's all we needed.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and design, import, and there it is. Drop it right at 0, 0. I already swapped over to my 16 millimeter cutter, and I'm going to pocket down to 0.16. It's a little shallower than my material is thick. So I'd rather have that material protrude ever so slightly so I can knock it down to be perfectly flush.
That makes sense.
Oh, I need to change this to a pocket. All right.
Yes.
One thing I want to do to save myself a little bit of time is I'm going to, when you're pocketing, it gives you kind of a safety buffer. That's what this space between the cutting line and the pocket area is. You can get rid of some of that by using a negative offset, and see, that brings me a little closer. I'm trying to get as much of this as I can with the big cutter. So when I swap to the 1/8 inch, it's just the tips of the spikes.
Nice. Yeah, and Origin's showing you where it's going to go to.
Yeah.
So you can trust that.
All right, here we go.
Well, I'm going to head over here so I don't get too much noise. All right, and because Jake has the 16 millimeter bit installed in Origin, this is actually going to take like no time at all. And he's not taking a whole lot of material away, so I think he's just going to do it all in one pass. And I think it helps as he's going into those corners to just slow down a little bit, just because there's more material that's going to be touching the router bit, and it's just a little bit more fragile, and we want to make sure we don't accidentally chip out any of the material there. And after Jake is done with this cut, with the 16 millimeter bit, I think he said he's going to switch to that 1/8 inch and clear out just those little tiny corners. And for now, he'll probably start with either 0 offset or a very small negative offset so that all of the parts fit. And I'm excited to see if all these parts that we've cut already are going to fit nicely into the star shape as is, or if we're going to have to add just a little bit of offset, which of course is super easy to do with Origin. All right. Oh, that's already looking so good. So, Jake, you're about to switch to the 1/8 inch?
Yep.
I'm going to pop back in for a second.
Yeah, that was nice and easy.
Oh, yeah, and you've got the spindle set up. That's really easy. At
the,
home, I have to do the...
In the interest of time, yeah, I might know a guy that can get you an extra spindle. In the interest of time, I'm just going to go straight to what I am pretty confident is going to fit. It's another -2 offset on the pocket. So that's -2 on all the positives. I'm sorry, -0.002 offset. 0.002 of an inch. If you think about it, if each part has that little tiny bit off of it, it kind of compounds. So 2 thou, 2 thou, 4 thou, 2 thou, 2 thou, 8 thou.
Right. Yeah.
So it works out to be a total of 0.008 of an inch tolerance around the whole thing, which is great. 1/8 inch bit in, tell origin, and Z-touch.
Right, because you changed bits, so you'll wanna always do a Z-touch operation after you change bits, because the length of your bit is probably changing as you're installing a different one.
Exactly. All right, and you can see I have a little extra material here that I'm just going to get quickly in a pocket, then swap to an inside cut.
Cool. All right, so this is our favorite part of the show, where we get to watch Jake do all of the hard work. But right now we can watch him, he's sort of freehanding this pocket, and that's the traditional way to do pockets with Origin, because Origin adds that sort of padding around the geometry of your shape. It's pretty safe to just go around and zigzag Origin around to fill the pocket, and then he'll follow that up with an inside cut. And that way, that inside cut will be exactly on the line, or in this case, 0.002 of an inch beyond the line, because we'll be using the traditional Origin method of following the line. So here we go. We've switched over to the inside cut, and now Jake is just doing the rough movements because he's hand operating this, not Bench Pilot this time. And he's going to switch the speed over because he's hand routing, and so I think what's happening is he's getting to those star tips, and then he's going to hit that auto speed button so that Origin goes in and out of those star tips at the speed that he's set. And he chose a lower speed. That way, Origin can take its time and really make a nice cut on those tips. There we go. I think most people in the session probably are familiar with this, but again, Origin is a handheld CNC router that lets you do the big motions, and then it corrects for you within that white circle correction window. So you can, that way you can precisely cut the geometries that you've loaded into the tool. In this case, our Compass star shape.
knocking off some fuzz.
I'm so much more used to talking about studio, so I apologize if my explanation of origin is lacking a little bit.
I think you nailed it.
Thanks.
Give me just one moment.
Oh, you're cleaning up those the fuzz.
Yeah.
What is this tool?
This? Oh, my handy dandy sanding stick. That's what it is.
TM? Okay.
TM. Yeah, no. Love these things. I don't know what else to tell you about it, where to get it, but they're spring loaded. They use these little sanding.
Oh.
Sanding.
It really looks like an X-Acto knife, but beefy somehow.
Yeah. Very, very handy. Okay. Oh, I'm excited to see how it fits.
Oops, sorry. These chairs are really stuck. Okay, I was holding on to the inlay pieces for you.
Yes. Quick noise.
So we're gonna put these. Sorry. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not going to hand them to you one at a time. I think that would be a little silly.
This is the most satisfying part. One at a time. I love how it's really subtle, but the radiuses at the tip of each spike come together to create a 1/8 of an inch. Or an 1/8.
Right. Yeah, and that's the trick, is that usually this kind of inlay is a little bit difficult to CAD up because you do want to take into account the router bit that you're using if you're doing this with a CNC, or you could also come back in with a chisel if you want to do it the sort of more manual way. Oh wow, you really nailed that offset that we needed.
That felt great. Loved it.
Awesome.
Cool. We had hopes of doing a more complicated star, because we're missing something pretty crucial here. We have north, east, south, and west. What about our friends in the northwest?
Right.
What about the southeast? And so somewhere
Yes.
I cut the other
We
pocket.
did a little bit of preparation.
But I think it's worth showing, maybe,
Yeah.
on the studio.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. So we did want to show this off too, because this is another thing about this Compass inlay that, we're helping you out a lot with the template, but there's still a couple steps. So that's why we're showing it on sessions. So if I come back to my original template, and this is maybe another reason why you would keep it editable, I can make a copy. I can actually duplicate it in place. That's handy because I'll just be rotating it 45 degrees and Studio will snap to that. And I'm halfway there already. So, and typically I think with these inlays, you would want the sort of northwest and northeast sides to be a little bit smaller so we can bring this in a little bit. Because I'm doing this with the handle interactively in Studio, I can actually get it to line up with that other tip over here. So I can see that this sort of
That's very satisfying.
lines up visually. I like that. We could also, dial these numbers in if we wanted specific sizes. And then what we want to do is essentially the same thing we did earlier with the separating out the dark and light parts, but we're just going to grab these parts that protrude. So we can grab our two compass star shapes, and then we can go into Shapeshifter. I keep forgetting to use the spotlight. I'm so sorry, everyone. Let's do that again. We've gone into Shapeshifter, and then I'm just going to select a piece of the star. I'm going to say keep existing shapes. Again, this is very important. Make shape. And now we've got our extracted star tip that's just the bit that expands beyond the star. And we can do that for the other side because it'll be a contrasting color. Again, we'll go to Shapeshifter, grab that other side, keep existing, make shape. And then just like we did at the beginning of this sessions, we can lay out a nested array of these different tips and cut them out on BenchPilot or manually. But through the magic of a show that you can prepare for a little bit.
While you were teaching the people, I went ahead and cut this.
Oh, wow. That was so fast and so quiet.
Bam.
Yeah. And what's exciting is that, yeah, we could have started with this 4-pointed star and still added these extra little points without having to really like change the material. We were just making the pocket larger and cutting some new inlay shapes.
Yes, these are the big pieces we just cut. Oh, that last one's kind of needs a little persuasion. Just a little persuasion.
Nice. Can you hold that up? Yeah. I love that.
So yes, we could still, like I have a grid. That's also, when in doubt, make a grid. Because I can take that file that Audrey just made and place it exactly where this one is and turn it into this.
Right. Yes, yeah, I would just make a new pocket like I did before, select both of those, Shapeshifter, select all, make shape. And now we've got our new pocket.
Beautiful.
That has the tips on it.
Go one step further, use the text tool, grab an N, a W,
oh,
an
yeah.
E, an S.
Totally.
An NS.
N. Put it up here. And if you want to make your life easier, use a single line font.
There you go.
Because then you don't really have to think about if your bit is going to fit or not. That looks good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There it is, folks. Compass Rose. Thanks for making that happen.
Thanks.
This is super, super cool.
Yeah, and I know we took the full hour, but I was really trying to not go too fast. And I think if you want to do it at home, the template makes it pretty straightforward, pretty easy to mess around with.
And I'm excited to see, too, of course, there's the Compass Rose, which is 8 points, but have fun with it.
Yeah, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
I'm curious. One of the exciting things about this compass shape and also the star shape, which is, we'll get a little nerdy here. Usually when you add a radius to something that has sharp corners, after you've set a size to it, it'll shrink the shape without rescaling everything else. So then the shape that you're left with is a different size. I'm not sure how to describe that because that's not how Studio does things. But maybe folks have this experience. So if I make the radius smaller in this case, you can see the star is still filling up the 2-inch space here. This is a pretty small star. But what that sort of unlocks for you is if you wanted to put a circle around all of this, for example, you don't have to guess about what size that circle needs to be. You just make it a 2-inch diameter.
Oh, that's really nice.
Because you know what the size is, because the templates are trying to respect those parameters that you've set.
You know what?
What?
This would look like this would be a really nice engraving as well.
Oh yeah,
and you could play with the depth of the V bit, whether that's the 60 or the 45 degree V bit, and create like a really beautiful ornament.
That would be nice. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's nice. There's something a little funny happening in the center here, but yeah, that would be a nice little ornament.
All right, I think that's it. Thank you everyone for joining us live.
Stick around for the Q&A.
Yep.
And the giveaway.
Let's get into it.